Okay, there we go. Hi, guys. I'm Corbie Mitleid. Three of you sort of know me. One of you really does, because she's in my Patreon group. But let me tell you a little bit about what tonight's going to be about. It is the sorting hat spread, yes. But at the same time, I want you to springboard with it. If all we do is the 3 cards and the Celtic cross, are we bored? We are so bored. This is fun. This is, like I said to Dax, it's like Calvin and Hobbes in the box and they turn it into the time machine or Spaceman Spiff. They just, their imagination goes and takes off. And that's what I want you to do here. I came up with the sorting hat because I found this gorgeous deck by a woman. I think she was on DeviantArt. And wait a minute, I have to go back and see what I'm doing here. We bring this up. I have to get all my previews done. But anyway, she had this absolutely stunning deck. And I said, all right, I have to figure out a way to do a spread specifically for a deck like this. And she loved the idea, which is why she was gracious enough to let me show her cards as illustrations. So, all right, now we're ready to share screen. Now we can preview. And here we are. There's an example. These are the cards that she did. The Hierophant is Dumbledore, King of Discs, you've got Hagrid, Joy, you've got either a Quidditch cup or the Goblet of Fire, and we go on like that. So is it good, solid tarot? Yes, but it springboards. So that's where I want to go with you tonight. So how did I figure out the sorting hat spread? Well, there's your hat with its grumpy face, and it's ready to pronounce whatever it is that's going on in your life. So when I figured this out, I said, all right, which professors
So you can
would
talk
be
to him while I'm doing this and boom.
So we start. Do you want me to wait, Sharona? Okay, good. So we start with Hogwarts itself as the situation as it stands. Then you've got Madame Hooch. Madame Hooch was the one who taught people how to fly. So she is going to tell us what is coming in for the situation. Then we've got Snape, defense against the dark arts. And so he's going to show us what we need to defend against in the situation that we're talking about. Then you've got Flitwick, who taught charms. What do charms do? Charms can support you. So that's where that card goes. Then we go with Horace Slughorn, who taught potions, what you have to create in this situation. We then go to Professor Sprout, who is all about herbology. So this is what you have to grow. You've got the fabulous McGonagall. What does she do? Transfiguration. It's what you need to transform in the situation to get it on the right path. We've got Hagrid, care of magical creatures. This is how your spirit animal is going to guard you at this particular time. And remember that sometimes your spirit animal will change, just as your guides change. And the final card is Dumbledore, and that's the end result. So let's see where we go. The example that we're going to use is Edith comes to me at a crossroads about her entrepreneurial career. She's been a video producer, but was also doing life coaching and trying to write a book. Now that's a lot of stuff. She wasn't sure anymore what direction to go in, and she couldn't focus the way she used to. So I said, let's see what the professorial staff has to say. And so here's, we've got the sorting hat example. Okay. So first card is the situation as it stands. Remember, that is Hogwarts. and it's the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups is a partnership card, and it talks about emotional cordiality, heart level work, and maybe for her a business partner. So Edith agreed that a business partner might help her focus better than trying to juggle everything on her own, and she was considering it, okay? I also explained to her that she needed to partner with her work, not let it consume her, which was her habit. And any of us who are entrepreneurs or writers or anything like this, yeah, we're our own bosses, but we're worse than any boss we've ever had. And if we're trying to write a book, it stares at us 24/7. It wakes us up at 3 a.m. and says, did you consider? So that's why she has to partner better with her projects and maybe bring in a business partner to help her in this situation. So the next card is Madam Hooch. This is what's coming in, and it's the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a gateway through problems. It's a way of getting rid of what doesn't serve and a transition. What I tend to say about this card, in order to go from the rough waters to the smooth, the woman in the boat mourns because she had to leave a lot of who she was on the dock or the boat wouldn't float. Her titles, her belongings, everything. So this says that if you want to get through this problem, there's a lot of stuff you're going to have to leave behind you. Now we go with Snape's card, what you have to defend against. Now the Four of Swords warns about feeling trapped, stalled projects, disappointment and frustration. It says in no uncertain terms, she needs to take a break and think. Then she's going to need to make some choices about what to keep and what to put aside because it's no longer what is important to her, okay? Remember, the Snape card then feeds in right from the Six of Swords card. She's going to have to choose carefully. She can't juggle everything. Yet over here, what is the card that supports her? That's Flitwick, and that's Charms. Now, the Two of Pentacles, like all two cards, is about balance and equilibrium. It hints at a calculated risk. All her eggs in one basket, you might say, might turn out to be more successful than she could have hoped. But it also says that she needs to remember she can multitask as needed, and her versatility from going to one thing or another, coins to coins, is going to help her while she makes this transition, okay? He's juggling and he's on slippery rocks, but he's not falling. So who's next? We've got what she needs to create. This is Slughorns and this is Potions. So this is down here. And the Six of Pentacles talks about assistance. And it's vital that Edith find it for herself. Create it from scratch if she has to. A new network of colleagues and supporters in the fresh venue. Whoever has been helping her in all of these other little projects, she needs to get her focus, decide what it is that she's going to prioritize, and make sure that everybody is on board with cheerleading, support, getting people out of Neverland. What's Neverland? Neverland are all the people that look at you and say, no, it's not going to work. It'll never work. I wouldn't do that. You know, I tell people 2 magic phrases when people do that to you. Thank you for sharing. You may think that if you wish, there's the door, and you keep going on where you need to go. Now, remember, the next card is Herbology. So this is what Edith needs to grow. And the Three of Pentacles is the card of the Master. It's a long-term event. So in regard to her business, she's got to grow her expertise in that single chosen field. So she becomes that go-to woman in that line of work. I do a lot of stuff. I do tarot, I do spirit guides, I do dead people, blah, blah, blah. But what am I best known for? 2 things, tarot and a past life specialist. It means, yeah, it'd be nice to do psychometry, and yeah, maybe I could do spirit art, but it's not the focus. So I leave it behind and I become a master in what I'm good at. She needs to do this as well. If she does do this, then her business is likely to have a good long lifespan. All right, now, the next card is McGonagall's card. That's transformation. And the Eight of Swords is that fear card. Comes up all the time, a lot recently in my people's readings. Okay. The traditional picture of the bound and blindfolded woman in a bleak landscape. But if you look carefully at the picture, do you see how loose those bindings are and her blindfold? Also, look very carefully at the swords. She's surrounded by the swords, but her skirt is not pinned down. If she can look her challenge square in the eye and move forward confidently, she can walk through those swords, she can walk through the fear, she can walk through what she thinks is going to stop her. And she may find that when she leaves them behind, the problems disappear of their own volition. She no longer needs them, says the universe. So how her spirit animal is going to guard her in this. This is Hagrid's card over here, King of Wands. Now, if Edith were a wizard, we would call her spirit animal her Patronus. Regardless of what she calls him, her spirit animal, which is a raven, is bringing her innovative ideas and helping her to keep her mind and creativity open and receptive. And if you know about ravens, oh, they are smart. And they are trickster birds. In Native American lore, they are first cousin to coyote. So what is the King of Wands? The King of Entrepreneurs. So thereby it says, Raven will help you be the best entrepreneur. Ravens are brilliant at solving puzzles. And so that is what her raven is telling her. You can do this. You can be the master of entrepreneurs. You just have to think outside the box. Now we have our last card, which is Dumbledore. No surprise. The Hermit card for me is always seeking truth. Yes, the Hermit card is, you're going away to think about things. But I look at this card and I think about the Greek philosopher Diogenes, who always walked around with a lit lantern day and night. And people would go, yo, Di, what's with the lamp? It's daylight. And he would go, I'm looking for an honest man, and it's pretty damn dark. So in this case, I give that feel to Dumbledore. Always seeking your truth, reassessing where Edith is and where she wants to go. She can gain the success and the recognition she wants, and she'll find that her period of reflection and preparation has her ready to take the new business to the heights. So that's an example of, I'm going to stop sharing here. That's an example of how that reading can work, how deeply you can take it. People often say to me, well, you get the little book, and if I just memorize that, why can't I be a good reader? Hello? Because the cards invite you to go deep. They are magic doorways. And if you look at the allegory in them, if you read the story in them, not just the traditional meaning, but especially what it could be telling to your client, the readings are going to have much more depth. You're going to have so much more fun with them. And, we all love being told stories. And when we're being told a story just about ourselves, ooh, baby, we're going to listen. So that's my example with the sorting hat. Before I move on, any questions, any thoughts? Undo the mics and let's talk about this. Anybody have any questions? Don't say I stunned you all into silence. I am not going to take that.
It's Rini. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Rini.
Okay, so you used some names there. They were all foreign to me. Mm-hmm. You mentioned they were wizards. So I don't know, is that from...
These are all from Harry Potter. These are all from Harry Potter. The idea with the sorting hat spread is you're going to Hogwarts, like in the movies, like in J.K. Rowling's books. And in the book series, each of those professors teaches a specific class. First one, Madam Hooch, taught everybody how to fly their brooms first year. So She is the professor for flying. And so I gave her the idea of she's going to show us what is coming in to the situation. Severus Snape, that's the wonderful Alan Rickman part. Everybody knows Snape. He always wanted to be the defense against the dark arts professor, and he finally got there. So his talking about what you need to defend against in order to solve your problem. So that's why this is specific for Harry Potter fans. And they're an
You know,
awful.
how many of those series came out?
7 books.
Okay, so I did go see one of the movies,
Mhm.
and I don't remember which one it was, but he was down in the underground train station,
Mhm.
and the wall opened up.
That happens in pretty much all of them.
Oh,
That's
well, anyways,
9 3/4.
that was just phenomenal. I mean, that movie was excellent. But anyways, where
yeah.
is Harry Potter based from? Is that Irish?
English.
It is-
English. Hogwarts is supposed to be in England. Then you had Durmstrang, which is in, the Eastern European Russian countries. You had Beauxbaton, which stands for a good wand, and they were French. So it's all over the place. And I know that in the new series with the Fantastical Beasts, there's some of that in America, et cetera, et cetera. But
what is your ancestry?
me?
Your ancestry to pick up on.
Ganz Deutsch.
Oh, what's that besides German?
It's completely German. Ganz
Okay.
Deutsch, completely German. Yep.
What country were your parents raised?
Well, I'm like 2nd or 3rd generation American. My grandparents, great grandparents came over in 1905. I've seen the record.
From what country?
Somewhere Germany, right around the border, Germany, Poland, somewhere in there.
Okay, we're Eastern European. Okay, so a lot of these terms are new to me because my background isn't from England, right? So that was interesting. So how you put that together, and then you've got those names. So I guess the other question I had is, what deck are you using?
The deck for that is my go-to tarot deck. It is the Tarot Illuminati. It's by my friend Eric Dunn, who lives in York, Pennsylvania. Lo Scarabeo is the one who publishes the deck. It scored all the awards possible the year it came out in 2013, and I think now it is the most popular tarot deck in the world after Standard Rider-Waite.
Wow, okay, that's excellent. Okay, somebody else has a question.
Yeah, who else said? Somebody blithered. Who blithered?
Okay, so I'll finish with my third and final question then.
Yeah.
So because we're all from different traditions, right?
Yeah.
Do you have that kind of like in a chart broken down? Because I can't remember all the names that you said, but I understand the pattern that you follow.
Yeah. The things that I showed you, I can send to anybody who wants it. So it's very simple. But
would it also work for something like the Rider-Waite Smith? I still do the.
Oh yeah, because the Tarot Illuminati is based on the Rider-Waite.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
But because you're using these so-called, what did you can't call them musicians. What did you call them? Wizards.
Wizards.
I don't even know what a wizard is. Tell me what a wizard is.
A wizard was invented in this book by J.K. Rowling. We humans who don't have magic powers are muggles, and witches and wizards, girl wizards, boy wizards, they were born with the ability to make magic, and so they go to this special school. But I don't want you to get hung up on, ooh, I got to go learn Harry Potter. Let's say that you loved the Young Wizard series by Diane Duane, okay? So you could have a card that stands for the Wizard's Manual, because in her series, you find your Wizard's Manual and you say the Wizard's Oath, and then you go on your ordeal. Are you really good enough to be a wizard? So again, you could have Nita, Kit, and Dayreen, who are the 3 protagonists. You can have your Wizard's Manual. You can have the Lone Power, that's the devil. There are all kinds of things. I used this because most people get Harry Potter, but you could go to any fantasy series you adore, and you could see the protagonists and how they do it and where they go, and you could invent a spread with them in mind. That's the whole point. I want you to
Okay.
think outside the box.
So I'm gonna write this down.
Mhm.
I got what you just said. I just want to write it down. Okay, so then what were those 6 spots if we just use plain words or English if somebody wanted to match it up to the deck that they're using?
All right, so you want which cards they were?
Well, if you gave a title for each of those.
Yep, can do.
Because- Yeah, okay.
All right, hang on. No, you don't want to see that. Thank you very much. Stop share. All right, I have to go and pull it first. Here we go. And I don't know why my mail is showing, but there you are. So are you seeing it, or I'm still not there yet?
I have the map. I was able to write out the maps. I got 1, 2, then I've got 3, 4. And on the 4th line, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the final line, I got 9.
I think that's right. Hold on. I have no idea why my mail is showing up, but I want to make it go away. You don't need to see my mail. Thank you very much. And now I'm pulling it up, and we'll do it again. Preview, boom. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So where
Oh,
it says,
is there only
Right.
3 there on the 3rd line or 4?
there are,
Oh. Okay, I got my map wrong. Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
There can be 4, but I just ran out of room. So,
Okay. Okay, got it.
so Hogwarts is the situation as it stands.
Got it.
Hooch is what is coming in.
Coming in,
Yes. Snape is what you must defend against.
defend,
Flitwick is what supports you.
support,
Slughorn is what you must create.
create.
Sprout is what you must grow, different thing.
Yep. Yep.
McGonagall is what you must transform in the situation.
Got it.
Hagrid's card is how your spirit animal guides you and guards you in this. And the spirit animal is not what's on the card. It's who is your animal normally. Okay.
So it can be your angel, your guardian angel, your whatever is your go-to thing.
Yeah, I tend to say spirit animal because Hagrid was care of magical creatures, and we all have a spirit animal of some kind,
Yeah, even a puppy dog or a kitty cat.
or a fox or a turtle or a kangaroo. Absolutely. And
Okay.
Dumbledore is the end result of the situation.
Okay. End result.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you for that very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Anybody else got questions or stuff? Silence. Oi, people. All right. Well, does anybody else have a fantasy series or something like that, or an idea they want to throw out to see if we can create a spread based on that? Let's brainstorm.
Okay, it's not my area of expertise, it's my sister's, but what about like the whole King Arthur, Arthurian legend type situation?
All right. So let's see, who are the characters I'm going to write down?
I'm just
We've
thinking, so we've got,
Arthur,
Arthur, Guinevere,
Guinevere, Lancelot,
Merlin.
Merlin, the sword.
Yeah,
The
like the
stone.
lady in the lake sword, yeah.
Okay, let's say the sword and the stone. Okay, so
Yep.
you have 5 cards here.
Okay,
The sword and the stone is the objective, whether
Okay.
it's starting a business, getting a situation figured out, where am I going for vacation? Okay, so you've got Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot. In the story, that is the regretful triumvirate, in that Guinevere has to decide Arthur where she should be, or Lancelot where she wants to be. Merlin is the magic. So in this situation, the querent is always Guinevere. She knows what she ought to do. She knows what she wants to do. And she has to figure out the bridge. That's Merlin. And what she wants to do is the sword and the stone. How can she pull that sword? See that? When you look at classic archetypes, when you look at, you break down how to figure out a situation, there will always be a way to give it characterization, to give it life, to put it in a form that people understand. So,
Thank you.
oh, sure. No, this is
Sounds
what
interesting.
makes tarot delicious, is how much fun you can have with it. Anybody
So-
else some ideas? Or were you still talking, Amy?
I was just catching, you said Merlin would be the magic part, and you said, did you say that would be like the bridge, the thing that helps them get to
It's
the
how she
solution?
decided. Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
you've got what you want, you got what you should. Merlin is how to figure out the answer to that. Can you have a bit of both? Do you have to go to one side or another to get to your objective?
Got it. Thanks.
To do I would like to buy a bigger house. Okay, I'm Guinevere. Arthur says, you're 67. It's not going to happen. What can you do with the house you got? Lancelot says, I'm sure there's a way you can figure it out. Let's win the lottery. And Merlin says, are you an ass? No, this is how we have to work this. I mean, this is truly how you can do it. Tarot is gorgeous, and tarot does have so many rules and regs, but just as I say, you could laugh when I'm reading for you, and it doesn't mean anything, but you're lowering your shields and you're letting the information get in. It's the same thing with the cards. They're not going to take offense. They're your buddies. They want to
Yeah.
play with you. And if you get a little raucous, they probably will too.
Okay.
Anybody else? Sharona, Rachel, Mary, I haven't heard bupkis from you guys. Silence. Well,
Did you see the Twilight?
see what Twilight? Did somebody
Yeah,
stick
Mary Brown had thrown out, you asked for a
Oh,
series.
Twilight. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's look at, so you've got Bella. Lloyd Bella. You've got the
Edward.
Cullens. You've got the Cullens, who are the vamps, and you got the Wolfie boys. You also have her fan. What are you going to do with the Muggles here? Because that's everybody who isn't one or the other.
her dad, for instance.
Right, who would be a Muggle. So how would you do the Cullens and the Wolfie boys? Cullens were created. Wolfie boys are instinct. So you've got brain and gut in this. What does your brain,
Yeah.
what does your gut tell you? And how are you going to explain that to Muggles, to people who don't get it? If you're in a situation and you decide that you are going to leave your job and open your own crystal shop, the Cullens say, have you done your business plan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The Wolfie pack says, well, you know how to read stones and you feel the energy. How are you going to work that in? And the Muggles are, you're leaving a corporate job with a pension? How are you going to explain it to them? Okay. So that's an example of how you could play with Twilight. Mary says, oh, I like that. Good. So, and to take it with other decks, all right, let's go for some really simple ideas. It's not necessarily that you've got stories, but what about situations? Okay, so you've got things like a medieval deck, and you can look at the medieval deck and see what to do with that. So you could do a jousting match, and that would be, you know, what is going on that is against each other. Okay, let's see. In the jousting layout, I have it written down here. A castle. Jousting field, what two solutions or situations are battling it out for your attention? If you had a castle layout, what moat do people have to cross to get close to you? How do you let down a drawbridge to cross one part of your life to another? What meaning can you give to each of the rooms in the castle? If you have a deck that's with flowers, form a plant with a layout. What are you planting? What do you need to fertilize your future? What bugs, problems, or stumbling blocks or challenges might be eating away at your time and resources? And even a NASCAR deck can work. What do you need to tune up your life? Where does the oil need changing in terms of what's going to make life easier for you to deal with? Where do you always get a flat tire or run out of gas? This is why it works. This is why you never have to be bored with what you're doing, ever. There is always more stuff. Sharona says storytelling could be like applied to fairy tales. Yes, it could. It can be whatever is fun for you. Let's take a look at the Oracle deck that I use. One of them, it's Ganesh. Ganesh is very, very compassionate. And frankly, when I sit with a deck like this, first time I say, how would you like me to read you? And an Oracle deck will always give it to me. So with the Oracle deck, it's the core of the situation, what's blocking you. The third card is what you have inside that's going to work. And the fourth card is how Ganesh, in all of his archetypal energy, will partner with you. The fifth card is don't be fooled. You may think this is going to work, but it won't. And the next card is do this instead. The idea being that this compassionate being, I mean, Ganesh is the Lord of obstacles in the Hindu pantheon, is willing to work with you. If you have a deck that is specific to crocodiles or a particular god or goddesses or whatever, use that personality essence to help you figure out the new spread as well. So, anybody else got stuff while I'm pontificating here? What you got, Dax?
I got nothing. I thought I had something, but now I don't.
All right. So, you know, if we need you to just wrap this up at 35 minutes, you know, that's people's attention span these days. Actually,
Right.
they've done studies. We have less of an attention span than goldfish. Most of the time we get 8 seconds. Goldfish have 12. Swear to God, I can.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yes. So anyway, I hope that this is going to spark people's ideas.
We are goldfish. What?
I'm a teacher. That's hilarious, Corbie, because we always had that problem with
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, Mary says, I created a unicorn spread
Ooh.
based on unicorn mythology and I use unicorn decks for it. Yes, exactly, Mary. That's
Cool.
where to go with it. And you
I
will
have a unicorn deck.
you're going to start finding you'll have specialties that nobody else does because it comes from your particular brain pan. And that is one of the things that people go to us for. That no, Dax is not like Sharona, is not like Mary, is not like me, is not like Rachel, is not like Amy, is not like Rini. We are all different practitioners. Don't
I
be
just had an
afraid to
idea.
use your own unique flavor. Okay. I mean, we could be 7 cardiologists and people would gravitate to one of us or the other because of bedside manner and whatever thing we're specializing in.
Yeah, and so many people are afraid of that, like from a business standpoint, but in reality, that's what you should be doing. You know, you don't want to try to get everybody to like you and everybody to hire you. You want your raving fans, even if it's 50 people.
Look, you know, you put me next to what I call one of the really glurpy purple with angel types. Okay. Her booth is pink and it has angels all over the place and her name is Little Dancing Raccoon. And she goes, hi, we're going to see what your angels say today. And there are some people who eat that up with spoons. And then there are the ones who want people like me. Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm going to hit you upside the head with a clue brick unless you listen here. And they go, yeah, that's what I want. This is serious stuff.
Mhm.
Both of us are equally gifted readers, but we have our own bedside manner and we know which clients we will do best with. It's that simple. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Geez, there are 8 billion people in the world, kids.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to like all of us. You'll find your people.
Mary put down, woohoo, unicornologist. Unicornologist? It's like, wait, that's too close to like, I'm thinking urologist, you know.
It's all right. We're all grown-ups here.
Oh
Cor-
boy, but that was great.
It was fun. This is why I love teaching. It's
Yep.
easy for me.
And I just think that, you know, sometimes people get a little too,
Serious.
yeah,
Professorial. I'm here.
yeah, you know, I mean, they get wrapped up in that, you know, every detail of the spread and they're not getting the overarching idea, what you're trying to do, you know, how you can shoehorn just about anything into it. And you can create your own spreads and not be, you know, Miss Celtic Cross for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Corbie, it's Rini. I just want to say two things.
Yeah.
I think it's great that coming just from what you said, creating fun. I mean, because there's just some people that want to have fun. I mean, it might be a Friday night. I mean, what, have some fun. So that's number one, a takeaway for me is create something that's fun, have a fun creation. And number two is link it to whatever. But one was tradition. And I thought, no, that's excellent. Some culture, some tradition, your own tradition, your own culture, whatever, but linking it. So that's two good takeaways. I really appreciate what you've done. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't know about the wizards and I didn't know about Harry Potter, but I'm glad I asked the question.
Yes.
Thank you so much. for
Oh,
your
it
time.
was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. So anyway, all right, I guess that I'm going to let Dax wrap this up. I had a great time. Thank you for all sitting through this.